How are you doing? Hi Lily, hi Mifa, hi Sio, hi Abigail, and hi Nimir, because you forget a letter in my name, I shall forget a letter in your name too. Nimir. Okay. Hi everyone, are you excited? Are you excited? The prediction is going on in the chat. Top on your chat, you can vote on who's going to win. You have around 40 seconds left, so you better vote now. Most of the people, seemingly 5 times more people are voting on Mifa, or 5 times more points were voted on Mifa. Yeah. No, you forgot one Y. No, a Y. I have 2 Ypsilons in my name. Mr. Nimiowski. I have no idea what's your real name. I shall call you Nimiowski. Yep, that's correct. You spent 7k on Mifa. So Mifa seems to prepare some cool opening for Lily. Lily also prepared the whole week. So maybe before we start, guys, I would like Lily and Mifa to say their determination for this game. What is their approach, what they're wishing for, or what kind of preparation they did. Can you guys give us a few words in the chat? You guys giving me opportunity to scam you. Polish names with their Z's and Y's everywhere. Usually they don't have this many, actually. Usually they end with SKA or I. Or the most popular name would be Novak, which has none of those letters. So, nope, it's just my name that's weird. You shouldn't be here. Go away. I was studying the modern shogi in the book. Okay, so Lily said, I was studying the modern shogi in the book reading streams. Oh, okay. Studying the modern shogi in our Harbour's book reading streams. Got it? And I've been trying to emulate some of the ideas in my own games, but it is a lot of material, so I didn't actually get through all of my planned preparation. All right, so Lily did all she could. Now, Mifa, could you tell us about your preparations? Mortroy says, good luck to both of you. I think many people are really excited for the game. So for the people who don't know, we have this tournament going on called TT Series. As you can see, we have the registration for Season 5. If you guys would like to join, you can check out our Discord and register there. It's until January 31st. And Lily is the winner of Tourney to Queen, while Mifa is the winner of Tourney to King. Yes, we have different tournaments for different levels, so even if you're a beginner, you can join us. And this is a special match that isn't even mentioned in those rules, because we just wanted to do something cool, and we have 2 very motivated, strong players, so we're doing something amazing like this. Mifa says, I have been preparing something in opening, even surprised my partner. Ooh, all right, exciting. Heyo, Raokai. All right, so we have this official tag. Cool. All right. Mifa is waiting for Lily, so we can slowly start. And I would recommend you both to not watch this stream, so that you don't get spoiled, and that you come back after the game, or at least, mute the stream and just put it in the minimalized window so that you don't see it. Yeah, or you can leave it and come back. Yeah, just make sure you don't get spoiled because it's not fun. Yeah, it's not fun. It's cheating. Don't cheat, guys. All right, and as you guys ready, I think it started. Yep, here we go. Queen versus King. Just a reminder, this is our tournament. Yeah, we'll have 1 game. It didn't load yet. Yeah, 1 game, you see. There's not much info, but yeah, match between winners of TTK, TTK and TTQ, and here it starts. Yep, and I'm Lily apparently, cool. So let's see how it goes. Lily is center, and she starts with this static rook. And as you guys see, this is a 30 minutes, 60 seconds behind me, so it's a quite long game. And hopefully it's gonna be a good quality of shogi. The Mifa's picture is actually making my brain a little bit confused because the king is in the bottom corner of the board, meaning it escaped all the way from the top to the bottom left corner, and it's surrounded by his own pieces, so he's castled and he really is an escape artist. This is a beauty for avatar, actually. Lily's avatar is yep, that tells everything about Lily that you need to know. And here we go. So Mifa closed his bishop line here, which is perhaps what he was preparing, that secret opening. Normally you would think it's a swinging rook opening, but 2 moves after you can see he pushed the static rook. So it could indicate many things. It could indicate for now, if it would be normal shogi, like a snow roof, Yagura is is unlikely if Lily pushes this pawn and prepares this silver here. Because this, I mean, okay, if Lily pushes here, this silver won't be here on time, so Yagura won't be possible, but if she doesn't, well, then Yagura is possible. Snow roof is possible. Bishop will defend here. And also depends on what Lily wants to do with her king, yeah? For now, everything is standard. Everything is standard. Meantime, guys, in the chat, you can share what you're thinking. You can tell us, are you surprised Mifa is playing static rook? Are you rooting for Mifa, or maybe you're hoping that Lily is going to win? Maybe you have nice experience playing against Mifa and you can tell us, well, I always lose against him, so he has to win. Share your feelings about the players. The whole stream will be very interesting. I hope so, CEO. I hope nobody does Nifu. No, they are strong players. There's no option they were gonna do Nifu. And if they do, I quit streaming. This is how much faith I have in them. Hey yo, Nobuyuch. We are having discussion with Lily on the Discord that she found the International Shogi magazine very interesting, and I wish we could continue doing it. Maybe I should consider it more, because it seems to be like a very good piece of material we've created as a community, right? It would be cool to continue it, but maybe on more professional level. There is always hope for Nifu, yep. Oh, meantime, guys, I'm gonna show you. I forgot, but we'll have to give it officially to Lily in a second. Let me find it. After the game, we're gonna give it to her. We have this secret thing. Something like this. A certificate. We're gonna give it to her after the game. Remind me, guys, okay? Remind me. Lily asked for digital certificate, and this is why we will give it to her on stream, okay? Our secret, okay, chat? TTQ has the pink color, yeah. The new design. Yeah, you didn't fall asleep, cool. I don't know what it is, Abigail. Alright, so we had Mifa play 8 for pawn, and now after Lily played pawn 3-6, Mifa changed his rook position to 3-2, which indicates fur-5 rook. So it's called fainting rook, where you push this pawn once or twice, usually once, and then you are like bamboozled, and you push your rook to the other side. And usually that would be a bad shape, but it is possible to create a silver crown. or just to have this, I think it's called Chonmage Mino. Chonmage being this, I think it's the samurai menban basically type of thing. It sticks out, yeah, this one. So it's not a bad shape, and it is quite interesting way to bamboozle your opponent. But if Lily plays normally, it's gonna be okay normal game. Mifa will have this weird pawn as a result, basically. Non-fungible. I have no idea what that is. Oh, like money, like currency? I have no idea. It's just a certificate. Or do you mean like, yeah, I don't know what you mean. We have certificate and there is like a wax logo on it. To be fair, Engine says that rook swapping back to static rook is actually good too. I see. But I mean, Engine always likes this. Nice and cute. Yeah, Finn, you guys know Finn from Australia, right? He's the one who comes up with the design. He's the best. Nor interjable unit of data stored. Well, let me say, Abigail, it is a unique certificate that only the winner can get, so yes, in a way, it is unique. Mifa, on the other hand, is gonna get a trophy because Tourney to King has a special prize, right? Not only certificate but a trophy. And from the next season, we will consider having a pro game as well. Oh, speaking of pro games, you guys know that we'll have professional game on the 30th, on Sunday next week. The TTQ 3 ladies that took the first, second, and third place, they're gonna be playing against 3 different lady professionals. And the TTS, TTM, and TTJ winners gonna play against Tobe Sensei. I cannot remember, is it 6th or 13th? I think it's 13th of February. Yep. And it's gonna have a special thing about it, and I don't want to spoil it, so you guys put this date in the calendar, okay? 13th. But the hour, I think it's gonna be earlier, like 2 o'clock instead of 1 or 2 o'clock. I will have to double check, instead of like the usual 4 o'clock, because it has to be evening in Japan and morning in Brazil. So it's gonna be a little bit earlier than our usual stream. It's all the rage right now because game developers are starting to use NFTs in their games for rewards. Uh-oh. Yep, Sunken Bishop on Magemino. Let's see how it goes. So Lily put her silver on 3-7, which is quite early. You could keep it here and, for example, make this shape, or yeah, depending on the situation, you want to keep it on the bottom. Put the knight up. Like, for example, put the rook here, maybe knight. But she decided to put the bishop early. Put the silver early, which is kind of unbalanced. But hey, let's see what she has in mind. Mifa's plan in the future will be possibly to put the silver somewhere here. And then the bishop will be able to move because now it's stuck to defending the 4-4 square and 2-4 square. So it's kind of overloaded now. But if the silver comes here or here to defend this pawn, the bishop will be able to move. And it can either retreat or like jump very vigorously over here. By the way, I learned this bishop is called Ghost Bishop recently. So it can become a ghost. And then, he will be able to do some engagement because the rook line is open, 3-5 pawns, stuff like this. And then maybe this is why the silver being here will be able to protect that square and the pawn exchange from happening. The only problem is if Lily does it too soon, this pawn push might be a good counter, so she has to be careful. Now Mifa moved the silver here, clearly going for the silver crown. More natural would be to go here and here. It would be natural transition because you keep the connection between pieces. But it might be... Okay, he goes for it. Okay, we saw him wander. But like if he puts it here, it might have been more natural to go this way. But also we can see that he keeps his king on the second row. So probably it doesn't matter because Lily has no way to start and engage. But generally my advice to weaker players would be to keep your pieces connected where you're changing your castle. In case your opponent comes to attack, you're prepared, even if your castle is not like complete, your pieces are connected and you're prepared for the attack. Silver a2, but there is no silver wall. Yeah, it's not a silver wall, kinda. But yeah, I expect the silver to come here unless Mifa is going for some weird castle like this, which also is a possibility. It's like a twin gold on this side. And you can see something similar in versus Anaguma games. He might also know that Lily likes to take Vanguard pawns, so he prepared some kind of counter, who knows. Now this looks a little bit weird to me as a balance. Because this spot is open, so it's kind of visually unpleasant. But generally pushing this pawn is not a mistake as a shape. Now Mifa pushed those pawns, which is quite natural in third by rook. Chikatetsugisha? Yeah, who knows? Who knows? We're gonna see. Now Lily, on the other hand, she's playing left side Mino. And if she's going for solid castle, it would be something like this, this. Perhaps this, and you have booms. Left side Mino, you can evolve it into high Mino. And that would be slow Shogi, right? I mean, it is kind of slow already because she created left Mino. But knowing Mifa, he might come up with something unexpected. Also, welcome new guys who just came in. I don't understand what you mean, some scary guy. This game is a Japanese game, so I don't know what you mean. And I actually saw people playing Shogi on the street. Oh, Lily is engaging. Okay. I saw people like putting Shogi board on the street, and I was joking. I was with my pro friend, and I was joking, what if I challenge them for money and actually win? And she's like, no, you're a professional, you cannot do that. And I was like, you know, messing up with people. Yep, Lily's in that just definitely not slowly setting up castle. Yep, but it's actually quite interesting. So now we can see that her idea for pushing this pawn is to go very rapidly for an engagement in the center, which is quite interesting because Mifa's shape is not complete. Yeah. The problem is, even if the silver comes here, she has no way to like advance it, and she's gonna be repelled. And then we have to argue, is exchanging the central pawn benefiting to her? It's really hard to tell for now. Now, the other option is to put more pressure, put your rook here. But I would expect is going to happen. Is either pawn push or rook move. Rook move wants... Yeah, rook move would just stop the Lily's engagement the same way by pawn 5-4. Pawn push... Okay, let me just show you guys, okay? So for example... Like this, you can actually capture the silver. Yeah? So you don't want something like this happening. She might go here. But yeah, now we have like an open fight, and this rook seems kind of off the battlefield, so I'm not sure if this is the best idea. Yes, we could do something like this, like find out if the bishop exchange is good for us or not, but we are out of pawns, which is quite painful here. And the dragon could be made, right? So that situation isn't the best. So what I assume it will be something slower for Mifa. Yeah, Mahjong is a different game, my friend. This is Shogi. Mahjong is more of a gambling game where you actually play for money, and it has this bad reputation, let's say. Shogi has a little bit more stable, better reputation. All right, so we see that Mifa decided to put the rook here, so the silver cannot move, and okay, the silver could move, but he controls the file, and when the rook comes, he just defends. Okay, so that was one of the line that I mentioned, that he's gonna defend strongly by dropping d5 for pawn. And now we have to ask if Lily is happy with that exchange or not. It's quite unclear. Mifa is happy because Lily attack is not troubling him, so now he can continue castling. The silver went to the left side, which is quite weird. Like there are castles, yeah, there are castles which go like this, but you can see that in all those lines the bishop is here blocking the king, so I'm not sure how that's gonna go with that silver. Now if we were engaged it would be something like this, I imagine. But then the rook is very close to the king, so we have to ask ourselves, is it a good approach? Does Mifa has an active plan here, or he just wants to frustrate Lily and wait for her to sacrifice something? So it's not a bad plan as Gote to like wait, because in case of Senjita you just repeat the game, right? Usually as Gote you do want to wait. It's not like Mifa is nasty or anything. And he wants to wait because his castle is not ready. So I would assume he's gonna finish the castle and then start fighting. That would be normal in Shogi. But also knowing Mifa as master of handicap, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts fight in this shape. He now, for now, he takes this huge edge pawn. It's important for Lily to push the edge pawn as well, so that the king has a lot of space to go to. The fact that Lily doesn't push it quickly is quite scary to me. Maybe she's thinking of some better way. By the way, Mifa, at some point, if he would like to attack, he has this pawn push. Pawn takes, bishop takes, this becomes a nasty check. So Lily has to be careful about it. Pawn push, rook goes back is quite a nice engagement for Mifa, because pawn takes, bishop takes again becomes a check. So Lily has to be really careful about this line. Yeah, really careful. So, yeah. Although this pawn is very huge, yeah? Because the king will be able to escape. And knowing Mifa as an escape artist, you don't want to give him space. I see, yes, so some active ideas, and he's probably enjoying playing with unusual king shape. Yeah. Hit rate, yes, sir. Before moving the rook, could Santa have pushed to 4? And not silver drop, silver takes is X, Mika. Silver X, why should pawn not be considered? Okay. So here you're saying Santa could have pushed 2-4 before moving the rook. Here? Because bishop takes becomes a check. That's a problem, right? Simply speaking. It's really hard to defend that. Then there are things like you go here and then you attack, but Lily's king is on this diagonal, which is very unpleasant. And also those golds, if ever Mifa gets like a knight or something, He probably won't. No, he won't. Like attacking here would actually make Mifa's rook better, so you don't want to do that yet. So for now, I think Lily just wanted to exchange pawns. Like, oh no, did she give him the edge pawn? That's a huge disadvantage. Yes, like I talk about this shape, and yes, you want to defend this ghost bishop or whatever. But the king's safety is such a huge deal. You don't see the effect of that pawn push yet, but in the end game, that's gonna be like 5 moves of a difference. And she uses the gold on the right side. So Lily is trying to use that new technique of balanced shogi because she said she watched the modern shogi book. Yeah, if the gold goes there, it's not the worst. It would be protecting the knight's head. The problem was like the timing was a little bit weird to me. But okay, let's assume Mifa's going for solid castle. Lily is trying to go for the prompt efficiency theory that we discussed on our Thursday streams, right? Let's assume that's what's happening. And yeah, hi Mika. Like the first thing I say to you is like correct you, I'm sorry, but yeah, so okay, yeah. I mean, I would have to speak a long time about those different theories we did on Thursday stream, but basically, modern shogi is about you don't make a solid castle, you make simplified castle, and then you go for the attack. Yeah, so that's what's Lily doing. She has a simplified castle, and Mifa is going for solid castle. Okay, and now everything's weird. So yeah, Lily has to attack before Mifa makes it Anaguma shape. The problem is I don't think the gold going there is the correct move. No, we're gonna see. One of the ways of attacking would be to like sacrifice this pawn and drop a pawn here, trying to fork those pieces. And if you drop this pawn, rook goes away, you move the silver here, trying to break through. Now that the gold is here, the rook is blocked, so that was unfortunate, but Lily moved the rook here, trying to attack here. And that doesn't look very nice either, because gold takes, you can redrop the pawn. Knight takes means it's like kind of blocking the rook, right? So I'm not sure where Lily is going, but I'm quite curious. I'm pretty close to my goggles, so I will be picking up Shogi soon again. Hey, Mika, so you should remember also that we have Season 5 registration going on. So if you could complete your goggles before the end of this month, you could join our TTS tournament again. My first time writing Shogi notation in a while, cool. What was your goal? Yeah, TTM. Sorry. We're going to root for you if you choose to. Going to get 6 downs seems really rough. Go for it, Mikal, you can do it. Anime music in the background. All right. What had we? Few moves played here. Lily played here, Mifa played there. Chichila noise. Here you go. So we have the gold joining the kings again. We're going for solid play. Mifa is going for. This gold also like connects to the silver, so that now bishop will be able to move here, for example. The rook is a little bit blocked. So if the bishop comes here, now the problem we have how to defend it, right? Here or here. Depending on if the rook goes up, pawn drop I think is correct, but then the bishop will be kind of blocked. So here, what do? We could also move the rook to try to counter attack. Oh, knight. Okay, knight. I see it. Knight is much better. Knight is like super knight activation with tempo. This is beautiful. So the problem Lily has is that we talked about it last week, the preservation of the pieces. If you guys were on the Thursday stream, we talked about the preservation or the maintenance of your attack. If you're attacking and it happens that opponent has a counter on your attacking pieces, your attack will be stopped, and that's usually not a good outcome. So here you have that example, yeah? The rook is now pinned to the knight, and Mifa is able to put a pressure on that shape. So this kind of made our attack fail. That's not good usually. Lily could try to go for a counter attack like this, but the king is so much closer to the center than this king, so just by the looks of it, I think Lily would lose that exchange. So I think she's forced to go back, and in that case, previously mentioned attack failure comes in, right? So this is why in our book theory, we would move the gold to the right to help the rook protection. That's what we talk about on Thursday. So, okay, the other thing that Lily has problem with is her bishop is not really active. So according to our mobility theory this time, yes, this rook is not active, but also this bishop is not active. This bishop is active, this rook isn't, so because Mifa has one piece that's active now versus two that are not, he will be better off. People love a royal just, yeah. It's a point plot for Shogi Harbour anthology. King Mifa and Queen has to fight for their lives in the Colosseum because we what? No. It's not a Colosseum, it's a friendly match. Yes, you guys here for blood perhaps, but it's a friendly match. We have a friendly tournament. Okay, it's a serious competition. Let's be honest. Those two people are very serious about their shogi, and they do want to do their best. So there's no joke about it. And this is why people came here to watch this, right? But they are not gladiators. They are the royals. Yeah, the best on our server. And one of the reasons why we're playing it is because A, Mifa likes to play a lot of games, B, Lily likes to improve. And this is why, because they're so motivated to learn shogi that we can watch this game, yeah? Because they're amazing players. Yep. I mean, they prepared the whole week. This is a really serious match. And I hope we can continue this tradition with the next season. Jen, don't be drunk. What's unoxidized red wine? What's the difference between normal red wine? I don't understand. I don't know enough. So now Mifa moves the bishop back, which is quite surprising, but it does make sense. If Lily were to push this pawn next, the bishop would be kinda trapped, right? Maybe that's why he decided to move it back, and then still it can be active on this file. But the rook is still not active. So I would say Lily has a chance here. But the king position is weird. Considering mobility theory, I would consider ways to like open up this bishop line. Another thing, I would think about this bishop foremost, basically. There are some other moves you could try, but bishop is pretty important. Open red wine that doesn't have a cork. Do you know whenever it's still good? It has been open and kept for a few days. Oh, I see. I see. So oxidized, meaning the oxygen got in. Gotcha. I'm not sure if it's a good or tasty thing to do, but if you enjoy, sure. Enjoy. You can get these things that can replace a cork. Yeah, that's also true, like plastic things. Or you can keep the cork from the original wine and just put on top of it, right? If you manage to put it in, but... But yeah, man has an open wine, he has to drink it. As a Frenchman, I would not recommend. All right. Yeah, maybe Abigail can tell you. But yeah, what's worse sin, Abigail, according to the French culture? Throwing away wine or drink it in like oxidized 11:36 p.m. Yep. I guess don't drink too much. All right, what do we have here? So yeah, you guys can see clearly now, right? This pawn puts a lot of pressure on Lily's camp. And even if the king went here, he's so narrow, so squeezed because of this pawn, right? If Mifa wanted, he would be able to develop here and like have this nice pressure on the king. Yeah, just having pressure is not enough, of course, but on top of an equal attack on the right side, that's gonna be a huge investment on the king side, right? It's a good position that he's gonna benefit on later on. Time-wise, Lily has now 7 minutes versus 21 minutes, so it's getting a little bit rough. Usually in professional matches, if you go under 10 minutes, they start reading Biomi, and it's getting quite low. In this case, 30 minutes game, yeah, it's also like 1/3 of her time remains, right? Yeah. I mean, 1 minute Biomi is quite a bit, but in complex positions, you would better have more time, yeah. Abigail says, if it's bad cheap wine, just throw it away. It's better to throw away than to throw up. Good one. What wine do you recommend to start training my palate? All right. Well, Jen, the only thing I know it's the question to Abigail, but the only thing about the wine, I know that there is red, white, pink, and some other colors, and then depending what you eat, you want to have the proper taste of the wine, and then you have sour and sweet, and there are some different other things in the wine that I don't remember, but the basics is meat is red, fish is white, sweet desserts is white, I think, to accompany the sweetness. I read, but yeah, basics. Sake. Sake, we're gonna get you drunk quickly, so make sure you have a lot of food. And then you can drink it cold and warm, so it depends what you like. I heard that if it's warm, it feels like water, so you have to be careful. And then, of course, you have vodka, and that you drink with pickles. Pink wine is generally the easiest wine to drink. Oh, interesting. And of course, champagne is the best. The tastiest for me. It's quite expensive too, but it's usually good. I like champagne. Yuzu sake. There is also this thing I forgot, umeshu. It's also pretty good. You do not drink the same type of wine depending on what you're eating. Yeah. Pink wine is called rose, and it's mix of white and red. Yeah. A rose. Gotcha. I knew it's the white and red mix, but I didn't know it's called rose. Aren't roses red though? I guess there are pink roses too, but they're also yellow. Okay, getting too philosophical about the wine color. All right, Lily is down to 4 minutes, which is quite rough. And she decided to drop a pawn, meaning she takes the vanguard pawn on 4/4, like influence on the 4/4 square, meaning that she can stabilize her position and then slowly develop the attack. The problem is that it's not really forcing Mifa to be rushed. Maybe 5/5 pawn next. Like Mifa could like put his king in Yanaguma, like do whatever he wants. Or like go, okay, let's see, what's the proper play here? I talk a lot, but I don't think enough. The rook is inactive. Question is what Mifa wants to do with the rook. If his idea is to go like this or something, that wouldn't be surprising. But like long time plan. There are many ways to go, slowly or quickly. Like we could develop our rook position here, put more pressure in the center, but then the silver is hanging. It's kind of weird. This bishop is eyeing the knight, so it's kind of rough to defend now. But in order for this knight to be targeted, this silver would have to move to one of the squares. And then we also can use this gold to protect it. So it isn't the worst thing in the world, as long as this bishop is protecting the silver, right? I wonder if my headphones turned off. I think they did. I don't hear pieces being played. Shimon the food connoisseur. Yeah. Shimon, tell us all. It looks like Lily forces are aiming for attack on 4-5 square, but I don't see how she can organize it. I feel like her posing is struggling to see plan. Yeah, because it's not about 4-5. She can dominate that square, but she cannot go more forward because the 4-4 square is protected by too many pieces. So this is why the bishop is quite important here. But also her king is very vulnerable. Ooh, certification, cool. Sommelier. How do you get this kind of certification, Shimon? Do you have like some kind of test? You have to recognize the taste of the wine or something like that? What kind of skill do you need to have to be a sommelier? Maybe she opens the diagonal by moving the silver. So the question is where? Silver 5-5 will be taken by pawn. Yeah. If you go here, there is a pawn here. So perhaps you're talking about pawn drop, pawn takes, silver takes. That would be an idea. But I don't think Mifa will be nice enough to take the pawn. Yeah, okay. So he goes for the high mino, I believe. In that case, the question is this line, yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. So you wanted to go something like this? I see. Well, yes, you get a knight, yes, you get a horse, but then you have to evaluate, was it worth silver for a knight? And probably not. Because also your opponent will have a nice pressure on your gold. So it would be quite difficult to win this game. Although it's a quite interesting idea, yes. Can Mifa just swing the rook to the second file and push the pawn? Second file, you mean like here? And then push the pawn. The problem is if you go here and you push the pawn, Lily is not gonna take it. It's gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4 moves for you to do anything. If Lily would have 4 moves, then she would be able to counterattack like here or the center and basically dominate. So this would take too much time. So Mifa pushed the 6-4 pawn, Lily pushed the 7-5 pawn. 6-3 gold takes the 7-4 and Mifa goes to the edge, going for the silver crown Naguma. So I guess that was his plan. And Lily took the vanguard pawn on the 7-4 square. And now Mifa is opening the fight by pushing the central pawn. Alright, so this is quite a quick development. If Mifa would take this pawn would be under attack. And I mean, at least, yeah, I mean, I don't think it would be the worst, but for some reason Mifa preferred to get a tempo and leave this pawn alone and castle his king, because now he can concentrate on the attack. Yeah, so he gave up this position, and he's now able to use the pawn somewhere on this line too. And he decided to open up the middle and come up with bishop here. So middle game started. So Mifa's bishop come back to an aggressive position, and now Lily opens an amazing attack on the Mifa's castle and also on the knight on 3-3. I don't know who's winning anymore. Mifa is able to distract this rook and promote the bishop, so that's something we have to consider here. If the bishop disappears, the king becomes wider, so that's something cool. Let's see. Yeah, pawn takes, it's not forced. You have to take a test for the certificate. The basic certification doesn't require tremendous knowledge, usually just knowing the flavor profiles and varietals in all regions, as well as knowledge of wine production and aging techniques. Higher level certification require blind tasting, where you must identify wine based on color and flavor alone. That's so cool. That's so cool. Serving, I see. That's so cool. All right, so Mifa took this gold, which he wants to keep this nice shape of his generals. That makes sense. And Lily ignored that and took this knight first, attacking the rook. And Mifa doesn't like rooks, so he's gonna sacrifice it, right? It becomes a very harsh battle. I don't know who's winning or whatever. One thing to notice is that if Mifa at any point will have a knight drop, this knight drop will be very severe. And this is the last timing to drop the 4-6 pawn. Because if the rook is gone, this rook will be able to just go sideways and promote. So if he were to drop it, it's now. So the plan would be like, retake this silver, drop the knight, and for Lily, maybe like a knight drop here to put a pressure on the king. Rook drop type of thing. Maybe just promotion because the bishop is here. Yeah, so that would be Lily's target, yeah? So if it's like this, then we take here, they take here, we take here, they take here. And then if we promote, they have to take here. And a big fight basically starts with Mifa defending. So that wouldn't be the worst for Lily. Now with this horse here, we have to consider some options of checkmate threats. So it will be a very complex position, but looking forward to it. Yeah, at least to know what grapes are TTK. I see. Lily has 2 minutes left. Yeah, knight 7-6, I agree. Yeah, this knight drop, it would be... Ooh, that's nasty. If the gold takes, this rook will be able to promote. If the king takes, it becomes closer, and the knight drop becomes a check. But then king takes, what is the follow-up exactly? The other question would be, what if we take this and allow them to take this? Yeah, that would be scary to have king with silver alone versus this Anaguma shape. Somebody drew the arrow to take the gold, but then again the king is very weak and the rook can promote. And if the king retakes, it's also pretty scary looking. And I'm saying looking because I don't really see an exact variation to punish it immediately. But let's imagine there's a knight drop and the silver comes here. The king is quite surrounded. against human escape king entering king. That would be cool. King takes the or the you mean here, right, Koshiro? And then knight drop, king runs up, and then I assume we take the silver. So yeah, okay, let me play it out. So this would be checkmate, so we will have to go up, and this would be almost a hishi, right? So that's clear. Now, if the gold takes, we simply promote, and that's cool because we escaped this attack. The last question is, what do we do instead? And we have to consider those two moves. Now, if we don't take the rook, then they will be able to promote. King takes, it's kind of scary. Yeah, they have a gold, they can just drop the gold here, continue attacking our king. So I think the only option is to take the rook, actually. And then, I don't know which one. But it will be the battle of solidness versus... Yeah, that's what happened. It will be the battle versus solidness versus material, let's call it. Or the quality of pieces. The master is one who hangs 3 pieces at a time? I didn't hear about this. This is impressive. After improving from beginners, they don't notice pieces are hanging for free. Now the strong players leave hanging pieces everywhere. Yep. Konbanwa. It's a bad thing. I never heard about that proverb, but seems like there is some grain of truth. The point is, by allowing the rook to be taken and taking a silver instead, we actually took 2 pieces for 1, right? So we sabaki the rook in a very brilliant way. Now the Lily's king is very weak, so we want to utilize. And you're giving the knight to the enemy. All right. So if we were to take it, this talking looks very scary, but we're not gonna take it. If the knight drop is redropped, we can run to our favorite edge. What a surprise. Oh, Mifa decided to utilize his piece advantage. So this is quality versus numbers, yeah? Rook versus 2 generals. But what do you retake it with? Do you take it with the king if the knight promotes? Because if you take it with the gold, the pawn promotes. So I assume we're gonna take it with the king, which makes you closer. Which is kind of scary, but we're going for solidness here, so I assume that's fine. And then if we get a knight, this knight drop again becomes an issue. "58 viewers, welcome guys. Remember to join our Discord to be notified about those cool events. If a 9p hanged 4 pieces, then you're using my ski points. What? 9p? We don't have TTS. We don't have. This is the tournament. Let me put it here. Mifa final has the knight in hand. Yes, exactly. He has the knight to drop here. So what is exactly, guys? What is a good attack? Good attack is that breaks the camp, right? Keeps the king weak, but also doesn't gives the enemy powerful counter. And here you can see that there is a powerful counter. So Mifa is defending by getting the right pieces in hand. You get what I'm saying? Because he has a strong counter with the knight. Shogi is kind of a weird game, yeah? In order to attack, you have to give the opponent pieces. So, hey, you have to choose the correct one. So there is a strong line that Lily could try. Drop the knight again. Sacrifice the rook and promote the pawn, but that's not enough to create checkmate threat. While Mifa would be able to easily utilize on the weak king of Lily's. So Lily has to find a weaker attack. But it's also hard because this rook is not very active right now. Chinchilla noise with stretch and hit rate. Should I combine that all? Is this how it works? I guess stretch first. I got my booster vaccination yesterday. Moderna, so it was half of a dose. My arm is still hurting, so I'm not gonna overstretch it. But I really recommend you guys to take your booster vaccination, so... Chinchilla combo. So, new players watching this channel must be like, what is she doing? Yes, that's Hydra Chinchilla combo. Get up, Jen. Get up, Jen, before this game is over. Yep, stop drinking that wine. Especially on an empty stomach. Okay, so... Mifa's gold is selected, meaning he clicked on it. If gold takes, Lily's pawn will promote. So different from king takes, pawn promotion will give Lily an additional piece. But it's gonna slow her attack a little while, so maybe in the meantime Mifa will be able to drop the knight. Okay, let's assume takes, promotes, right? Knight drop, checkmate threat. Here, Lily cannot take it because she will be checkmated, right? So maybe that's a line we should consider. Yeah, I said talking is scary, but actually this is way more scary. And yeah, that's what Mifa is going for, a counter. He's saying, my king is in the corner, you're too slow to get it. So please promote your pawn, it's fine, I'm fine with the talking, yeah? Compared to the king, knight drop would be a check again. So this slows down them a little bit. Yeah, of course in normal games, you know, promotion is more decisive than knight drop because it's a whole pawn here. But we're talking about speed here. This game's crazy to watch. I think it's quite entertaining this way. No, it's not handicap. Tizik. Go drunk, you're home. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, this is a checkmate check, and yes, Lily has to use some pieces to defend it whenever it's like moving the silver or dropping some piece or temporarily sacrificing this rook. This actually wouldn't be so good. Something like that, yeah? Silver up, I think, can be answered with silver drop and threatening the same thing again while attacking the rook, so it's not very nice. Rook drop would be quite a strong defense, but then she wouldn't have any follow-up. So even if she takes one of those generals, she won't be able to escape these defenses, but it would prolong the game, yeah. How Mifa would expose this rook, I have no idea. Okay, the rook, oh, just exchange. And then drop it here, perhaps? Yeah, I was thinking of slower ways, but seems like Mifa, yeah, okay, I see it. It's decisive move, which is to take another knight. So the same target is repeated with two knights on the board. And it's a checkmate if the rook retakes the horse. And I'm not gonna tell you how, you guys can think about it. Scrabble F. Thematic end of the game, I agree. I'm really curious what they're gonna say in the post-game discussion. I mean, yeah, okay. Like, we could still fight here as Lily, like, drop a piece in defense, but the rook is gonna be taken for free. Let's see what Lily is going to do. run out of time. Hey, it's not an evil. Yeah, so here the rook will be taken, the silver will be under attack. It's not a threat-mate check, but it's decisive enough. Lily has no way to break that shape in the time that Miva has to capture this king, right? Alright, we're gonna see now the post-game discussion. Hope you guys... Maybe you guys can share. How did you like the game, guys, in the chat? The outcome is Mifa won by the timeout. Congratulations to everyone who voted on that option. Mifa says, I think your opening is not good in this game. The way you placed your king and you made your bishop harder to be used. Yes. I felt like I was doing great for a while, but I thought I had an escape after knight 7-6 with 7-8 king. Yeah, the silver drop is like Hishi shape, so you should expect that if your king has like one general and the opponent has like two pieces around your king, it's generally like over. You should expect that in that position after the knight drop. But yeah, I noticed, Lily, you try to use the theories that we talked on Thursday. The problem was you didn't use your bishop and you let your rook be counterattacked. So that was against the 2 last weeks of our lecture. Yeah, and I think this pawn was big as well, the edge pawn. It was quite important for you to push it. Keeping the balance is like the first chapter we read, but in the endgame that pawn push is worth so much. So much. The Mifa says it blocked your bishop. Also you need to play edge pawn. Yeah, so Mifa agrees with me. Which are the weeks which I haven't seen yet. Oh no. But hey, it's a good practice game. It's a good practice game. It was very interesting to watch. So don't feel bad. Yeah. Pushing the edge felt important, Lily said. I decided that knight 3-7 was more immediate somehow, but it didn't turn out to be necessary as I thought. Yeah, this kind of judgment comes with experience, basically. Like, I can understand the argumentation for the knight, but the truth is the edge pawn has so much more value. If you play a few games with such a knight jump, you're gonna realize how, like, in the end game, how much this pawn push is important. In this game, it didn't really come to it, because the knight drop, like, didn't let the king escape anyway. But also you can imagine, like, the bishop could be used on this line and stuff. Yeah, it's very situational. But I get you went for the prompt efficiency theory, trying to attack quickly, decisively. The problem was the bishop was blocked, yeah? So you couldn't attack decisively with only one piece, like a handicap. Also, from this position, you can see the difference between our kings. Yeah, that's... So the difference, guys, the easiest way to tell the difference between king defenses is you count how many squares it is from the center. So Mifa's king is one file away from the center. And also Lily's king is blocked by the bishop, right? And as those arrows show, the king was able to move too many squares. Not sure if you guys can hear my neighbors having a birthday party. They're quite cute. They put a paper on the outside door saying, "We're sorry, it's gonna be loud because we have a birthday party," in German, of course. But somehow I knew what a birthday party is in German, so I was like, "Oh, that's so nice." Yeah, happy birthday, neighbors. Speaking of birthdays, guys, remember that Nimio has birthday soon. On 25th is Nimio's birthday. Wink, wink. I mean, Nimio's birthday. Yeah, the Geburtstag, yeah. I've been learning German. Yeah. Been learning German. For now, we can introduce ourselves in German. Me and Joe. My king is unsafe, but I feel like your rook is inactive, so maybe if I make play now, I can turn to an endgame where I have enough to make up for the weak king. So that's usually not the case. I think I used my rook well for sacrifice, says Mifa. Yeah, the 6-8 pound drop was something we were not, none of us were ready for it, really. None of us. It was such an amazing drop. This pound drop, yeah. Yeah, and Mifa never values his rook. Yeah, we expected the rook sacrifice. How dare there be German? What? It's normal. Ah, the certificate. Shh, chat. Shh. Thank you so much, Eldron. Thank you so much. Right when the post-game discussion is. Shh. Thank you so much, Eldron. I was thinking about doing this first. Yeah, seems even better for you. Ah, here. Yeah, without taking the gold. That's crazy. Yeah, this pound drop. You guys can see why this king is so weak, right? You guys can see now. This is a Kultesuji. When the pawn is dropped in front of your rook, if you take it, it's gonna be attacked more. So what you wanna do is like sidestep. This make it difficult for the opponent because this pawn usually becomes useless, and your rook becomes more effective. In this case, the horse can come back like pin it, so it's quite difficult. Explaining what you are playing out. But yeah. It's a cool strategy to remember. I might have messed up my chat. Oh, okay, now it's working. Do you feel avenged now? I was Team Lily, I got followed, therefore I've been brought. Aww. Well, remember, Lily has always chance to do it again next season. The first Shogi stream yesterday, Lily celebrated occasion by playing for Peace Handicap. I see. Yeah, now I see why you are Team Lily. Lily is so kind to teach Shogi, eh? It will end up with pawn for gold and gold silver exchange. It's somewhat better for you, but maybe I have chances, says Lily. Yeah. So I'm quite interested. Okay, let's see what they have to say about the whole game. And I wanted to ask more about the opening because they mentioned Lily did something wrong, so I wondered what exactly. I mean, okay, we talked about the edge pawn push. Yeah, I don't think it's like very, very small mistakes she made. Yeah, if he takes with the king, it will be dangerous, he said. Yeah. So that's the line that I wasn't happy with, right?
Sides.
I'm trying to do something, but I'm failing. Give me a second, guys. Hey, Rico, thank you so much. 16 months. Welcome back. Also, guys, remember to subscribe because all of those subscription money goes for the teaching games we do on TTS. Remember to subscribe. And gives me motivation to make more of those streams, to be honest. Always happy, guys, for you to subscribe. Always gave me motivation. Thank you so much. I rarely share my gratitude, but it really is a motivating thing to have. I felt like I was winning if the king took, but wasn't sure how to evaluate after gold. In reality, giving up my knight was just wrong. So that's the conclusion that we got. The 7-6 knight drop was really good for Mifa. Should have played something else instead. Pawn drop. So we have gold drop. What line is it? Gold drop to 6-2. So instead, before promoting the knight, dropping the rook, forcing the gold back, and therefore protecting this knight drop line. That's interesting, yes. But Mifa has the piece advantage. So it's quite hard to judge. Like, he just might give up a lot of pieces and he will be fine. Because the king is safe. Just out of curiosity, how many subscribers do you have? It changes depending on the month. But there is a certain number that has been stable, and I don't really know if I want to share it. How motivating if there's a hype train. Every time we reach like level 5 train, I'm really, really happy. And if it's less, then I'm really happy thinking of those sure, I'm breaking the lore a little bit, like breaking the fourth wall, but I'm like to think about those punishments we have, like the train broke the harbor, so we have something weird happening on the server. But of course, those are trains are doing this, not me, right? The trains, it's the trains. Oh. I don't know, it is very different from the game now. If my attack does not succeed, I will lose, and it seems to be running out, so I think you are better here. Yeah, I think that's the point. But yeah, that's the king difference in the endgame. Yeah, that one file creates disturbance in the endgame, as we talked about. My mouse just disappeared. Oh, here you are. Okay, Mifa is getting a blood pressure check. So maybe it's a cool time. Lily, are you in the chat? You are. We have a special thing for you, Lily. I know that you wanted it online, so this is the papam. We're gonna officially give you the certificate. Congratulations for winning the TTQ. You shall be receiving it on the Discord soon. We have this certificate is awarded to Lily for achieving victory in Shogi Harbour's tourney to Queen. And the date is the date of the end of the tournament with my sign and our official stamp. Congratulations. And yes, it's pink because I think pink is cute and every queen deserves to look cute. So you're, fancy Waxil, you are going to receive that. Other people who wanted to receive the physical copy, they're gonna get it soon as well. Mifa also will receive his trophy soon as well. So if you guys would like a cool certificate like this, you have to join our tournament, Tourney to Series. Here's the official poster, here is the link, and remember you will have to join our Discord to register. There are different levels, so Tourney to Jotsu, if you're a beginner, just join the Tourney to Jotsu tournament under 5Q. We have Tourney to Shodan, which is for a little bit stronger people. Tourney to Masters is like black belt, yeah? Black belt advanced players. Tourney to King is like unbeatable, like black belt, but like even worse, even stronger, like Mifa type of level. And then Tourney to Queen is a special tournament for female players. And yes, the prize is teaching game versus professional players. I remind you guys that the next week on Sunday we have TTQ winners versus Ladies Pro handicap games. And on February 13th, we will have Tobe Sensei 7 Dan versus TTJ, TTS, TTM winners from the last season. And there will be something cool about it, so be there. Please be there. Mifa says that his blood pressure is still high, unlike his rating, but his rating is... we all want to have this high rating. Yep. Yeah, the first certificate didn't get the certificates. It's the upgrade that we came, that we're evolving every season. So I'm sorry, Shimon, but you did get a professional game, yeah, for free. And every season we're evolving. We have more and more people joining us. We have more and more subscribers, meaning we can do more and more stuff, yeah? And I'm getting more brave to like do crazy stuff like certificate and trophies. So that's just how things evolve. Who knows, maybe like a few years from now we will have something even jaw-dropping for our standards today. Who knows? But it's evolving step by step, yeah? Don't you need to be a 5 down to be in TTK? Yes. The TTK trophy requires, but we have one player who wants to... Yeah, depends. Like if you are not 5 down, but you think you should be, like depends on each tournament, yeah. Usually we take the max rating, but yeah, if you have Japanese certificates, you deserve to be in TTK, right? Yep. Mifa could be much higher ranked, definitely. You're not complaining. I'm just telling you, like, if I were to like explain why do we have certificates now, is that we're very proud to like offer certificates now. It's something that I'm really happy to do. On top of having a pro game, yeah. WSL, yeah, that's a good tournament to join too. Yes, please do that. WSL, guys, if you don't know, it's a World Shogi League. It's a team tournament game for countries. So if you have like your local country, like I don't know, Poland, and you would like to join, you get your 2 friends and you have a team of 3 and you can join. If you have 4 friends, then you need 6 people to have 2 teams. That's also a possibility. You are cool, cool. Remember to bring your game to Shogi Sunday so that we can take a look. Oh yeah, are you on Lily's team? I would like to play WSL, but struggling to persuade people to join with me. Ah, is it possible to get other countries to join you? I thought that was a rule. You could get some friends from other countries, I think. Shimon will be the team captain of the lower division. Woo! Nice. It's a good question, actually. It's open to residents. I see. Team USA Free is expanding from 1 for 14 players into 28 team players. Woo! I hope my microphone doesn't pick up that music because it's copyrighted. Even if you don't have citizenship. I see. In the past, I remember there was a rule that you could like get people from other countries, but I don't know if they changed that. Okay, I'm gonna... by the way, if anybody has a question, why I didn't show the certificate of MIFA, because I do have certificate for MIFA. I just don't know if he wants his real name to be shown on stream. Like, people had choice to put their nickname or real name or both on the certificate, and I just don't feel safe to show it on stream. That's the only reason. But it's golden and it's epic. Trust me. So, I'm gonna summarize it quickly. Unless they continue the analysis. So let's see. Let's see still. Oh, you could join? Cool crap. Please join. I know that there's like Time Zombie and other people like streaming those matches, and it's a very big thing. WSL is an amazing thing. I know that people stream their Tornado series games too. It's quite a big medial thing too, I guess. Let's call it. Yeah. There are people to come watch. There are people who then study or prepare for the opponent seriously. It's a very good motivation. So if you join many tournaments, that's very beneficial to you. Especially now in COVID times, everything is online, so my headphones died. All right. Headphones, hello. All right. Maybe this attack was really the mistake, since there's a problem with 6-8 pawn drop. So in each battle, I think you should also think about what your pieces could do after the trade. The thing I always look at when the battle starts, I always look at how safe my king is, what could possible to exchange in the battle, and also who would have a better tempo. So that's a good advice from Mifa. Always before starting a fight, make sure your king is safe. Lily says I read as deep as I can and think if I have some initiative. So like, yes, like my personal advice would be, yes, we could read deep and we could like think of different moves, different positions, but we can also use our intuition, which is you look at the position and you're like, oh, I have a weakness here. So immediately don't have to read that there's a knight drop. You just know that you cannot give a knight, yeah? You simplify your way of thinking. Similar to chess, I guess. Oh no, I will have double pawns or something. I would go here rather. Yeah, again, we cannot continue attacking because we cannot give away a knight, so that's kind of troubling. And here we're targeting the knight, yeah? So just by knowing that this castle has this weakness, we can easier read the follow-up moves. So it's a hint for beginners as well. If I cannot persuade people to join WSL, I'll play in TTM. Please, you're always welcome, Journey. You're always welcome. Mifa disconnected, unfortunately. Disconnected. Yeah, 31st is the deadline for the tourney to series, so keep that in mind. 31st, but yeah, we have same time zone, so that's no problem. I usually wait for the world time zone to change to the next day anyway, as a good habit, because we do have players from all around the world, right? So now Mifa has a piece advantage, but Lily has the initiative, so it's not as clear. But again, Mifa has those crucial pieces, which are the knights. Pawn drop 7-1, yeah. The bottom pawn, very strong defense. When you know Mifa, like Lily is attacking strongly, but Mifa just using one piece, boom, threat mate check. Like it's very scary, isn't it? Like Lily has a dragon, a horse, a knight, a pawn, a silver, and Mifa is like horse go brrr, and the knight goes brrr, and he just drops it in random spot and he wins. This is why castle weakness is so important. King safety, castle weakness, yeah. Hopefully as well COVID will be less bad this year and we can have more in-person tournaments in Europe. Yeah, I read some news that maybe Omicron is like the sign of the end of the pandemic because it's, I actually don't know if that's the reason, but in my logic it's less severe and more contagious, which would indicate that maybe it's getting over. So there is hope. And because now I live in Switzerland, maybe it's gonna be easier for me to join different European tournaments too. But as a watcher rather than player, I guess. I wouldn't mind, of course. Maybe we could do some live streaming on this channel as well. That is accurate about Omicron. Oh, cool. It's just like, if some, yeah, I wasn't sure, but... You caught it? You caught what? Omicron? It's not so strong. I see. Good to know. Yeah, but yeah, guys, get your booster vaccination. It's like if you had Moderna vaccination, like the second dose, like I know many people had like heavy fever. I also had heavy fever, but the booster vaccination is half of that, so it's quite more manageable. Like I was fine just taking for half day, like laying in bed and just taking a pill. I was fine. Paracetamol or something. It was way more manageable than was the second dose. If you guys are like, oh no, I don't have time, or just do it. It's worth it. It's also a bit easier to catch even vaccinated, but the severity with vaccination is very low. Yeah. Yeah, now that you have vaccination means you're more resistant, yeah? That's important. And also if you want to travel, yeah? Many countries will require boosters. So if you want to meet me in Europe, let's think about it, yeah? Let's meet together in a safe spot on a cool Shogi tournament. So the silver will go up, attacking the knight. And it will seem very overish. Like, the wall of pieces is just impenetrable. But at current rates, we should see herd immunity start to develop later this year. Oh, that's cool. I'll meet you in the harbor, yeah. I mean, harbor is not an actual place. Harbor is in our hearts. No, that... Booth camp. Yep, I mean, we could consider doing something. What do you need for a booth camp? Place? Organization. I mean, still COVID is here, we cannot do it, but like... The Great China Wall, yeah! Mifa says it's the Great Wall of China, yeah. There isn't enough to break, but definitely. Yeah, guys, this column of pieces is a very strong position in Shogi. It looks funny, but because there's many pieces, it's really hard to like drop pieces in front of it or behind it. It's hard to go from the side because the bottom pawn is really beneficial. I was wondering why Mifa didn't take the 7-5 pawn. Was he going for tempo? Oh no, because when silver takes, simply the knight is under attack. Okay, that's the simplest reason. Like, it attacks the knight, so I see it now. Alright, makes sense. Now we finally arrive at the discussion about the opening. Mifa is asking, what is your idea about the opening? I think you have slightly an advantage. A slight advantage. You need boots, of course. But if it's Japanese chess camp, don't you need sandals? Finger guns. Approximate summer or really far for some models. Models? Models, like predictions, I see. Japanese clock. Yeah. Clack, 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 clack. I actually went to a shop in Asakusa once and they made it for me in front of me. Like they put the string in it. I don't know why I did it. I just wanted it and I needed it for kimono. It's cool. What was your idea? My idea was letting you attack me. Okay, so Mifa's plan was to let Lily attack him, of course. That's usual Mifa plan. Lily said, well, this feels like target. Mifa says, and I will defend, wait for your mistakes. And Lily says, but I was saying if I attack it right away, you just open the bishop and you're fine. So my plan was to make a low shape on the left with my castle, so that if I'm having an opportunity to attack, then later my king is at the bottom. Alright, so Lily was going for like simplified castle quick attack type of strategy. If I bring high heels, can it be a high heel camp? Because you will be getting high? Stupid jokes. No. I mean, wear whatever you want, Jen. I'm not gonna judge you. But flying from Malaysia to Europe in high heels will be very troubling to your feet, so be careful. So before going to castle, says Mifa, you need to think about what piece could be traded in your future. Yeah, like the 5-7 square I mentioned is quite open. If I had a bishop in hand, there's a bishop drop, yeah? Just wanna be fabulous. It's a good thing to be. I actually don't own a pair of high heels. I think it hurts your feet. Have you seen, guys, how the feet looks in the high heels, like the X-ray? How like this is your feet. It breaks the bones, you know. Relevant article on feint swinging group strategy from ex-Shurka player. Oh yeah, that should be good. But it's not very, yeah, it's similar to what Mifa played. Yeah, so this is the bishop, guys. Oh, you don't see it, so tiny. This is the bishop movement, yeah, that I talked about. The game is very much a tie. All right, that's it's a playable forgotten. If I had a bishop in hand, so this pawn will make me play with more careful. Well, I'm playing one of those moves for sure, and the bishop can be traded right away, so I'm not worried here yet. Yeah, Lily wasn't worried about bishop exchange yet. That's true. That's why I make you start the battle. Yeah. So I always win for me on 5. Okay, so Mifa, yeah, he's always gonna win on this square. There's 3 versus 2. 2 versus 2, right? Ah, no, 3 versus 3 as this pawn drop. Yeah, 3 versus. Your pieces are somehow aiming to different squares. I would like to see any woman climb a Swiss mountain in heels. Of course, I'm not breaking here though yet, but I'm getting a good pawn exchange maybe, and my pieces are not really badly placed, I felt. Yeah, of course, yeah, Lily cannot break here because the bishop is attacking on the 4th file and the rook is attacking on the 5th file. So it's rook versus rook versus silver, but Mifa drops the pawn first. So that's good enough, yeah. So what Lily would need is like one more piece on one new file. Now Mifa says that she needs to choose where the silver goes, but yeah, if it goes to the right, I don't think that's good. She moved it closer to the castle. Yeah, if the silver was here, then this pawn push is very severe, yeah. Yep, this is the Discord link. If you guys want to be notified about our future streams or cool events like this, join us. Or if you want to register for Tourney to Series, also join us. Be safe against the sentient trains, yeah? Play Shogi in safety. Ah, yeah. By the way, chat, do you have any questions about the game itself? Or do you have any question to both players? Naruto. Manga. "14 years ago. Yeah. He says it's gonna benefit Mifa, whichever square the silver goes back to. He said he calculated this line. So yeah, Mifa of course anticipated this attack. Which means that the setup is not a good start. Yeah, probably. So yeah, it's likely to be disadvantaged in the opening, I guess. Lily felt that the silver on the left is not a problem for her, but after she didn't push the edge pawn, the bishop became too inactive. We all agree on that. Yes, it should not, but your bishop is not very used. Yeah, so the silver being on the left side blocks the bishop. That's the point. So I know the rules of Shogi, but I'm lacking direction into what next step to follow to become somewhat good. So you can join our Discord and check our Shogi resources. We have a guide for a beginner, but I would recommend you join our tournament. The registration is until the end of this month. A lot of beginner will be there, and then you can play against each other and then analyze the game afterward. Keeping you motivated because it's just one game per week. I'm missing the second book of Go for Shogi. What is the second book of Go for Shogi? Do you have the Nekomado books, Moach? Nekomado books. I recommend. It's in English, and it's like one few of those rare Shogi books in English. Like those at a glance series. I recommend you check it out. And also you can check the Hidechi. Well, that's me, so yes. It's weird that you talk about me in the third person, but yep. The Art of Shogi. Yeah, that's good. Do you have Habu Swords? But yeah, check the Hidechi on YouTube as well. On YouTube. Yeah, the Discord, there is a channel for, what's the name of the channel? Beginner guide. So if you're a beginner, there's one of our members created a cool guide for you. There's how do you learn rules, how do you train your end game, where do you play games, and then you have those YouTube, Twitch channels. And there's Hidechi link in there. If you want more, we have Shogi Resources, which is the most messy channel we have on our Discord, but it has a lot of resources that we keep putting there. If you have any question or if you want to find a partner, you can ping people to play. You just ping wanna play on our Discord. And if you have any questions, just type it in the Shogi or general chat and we'll be happy to provide. Oh yes, and there is also the Killer Daki study plan. Let me check quickly. Oh, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. Do we have it in our resources? We should add it. Really good. I didn't see it before. It sounds really good. The last point, join Shogi Harbour Discord. Well, do it before the last point, see? All right. My first game plan was Masuda's entering king plan. Oh god. I was expecting Kakutofu. Kakutofu is Bishop's head pawn. She prepared an idea for double Kakutofu. Oh my god. So I played that first move, but you play static rook. So my second plan was Anaguma. Cool. I think another problem with my knight timing at this timing is that I have to spend another move on the right edge to prevent the bishop. Yeah, that's true, actually. But the bishop can be protected by the gold. I mean, we moved the gold up and then we moved the pawns, so one of those was sufficient. We didn't have to move them both, I think. And the edge pawn was so important as well, this edge pawn. Nice. Shogi, yeah, that's also, it's a mobile app, right? It's really cool. The problem, you know, with playing bots though is like you play, but it doesn't teach you, yeah? If you play with stronger player, he's gonna teach you like, oh, that's a good move, that's a bad move. With computer, it's just like no response, so it's really hard to improve. So what I recommend to you is you take Kifu of your game or like a record video, I don't know. Kifu might be hard if you're a beginner. If you have some option to copy paste that game to our Discord and ask people for advice, that's like one of the ways to improve. Like, hey guys, I played this game on my mobile. Can you tell me what I'm doing wrong or something like that? I think would be very beneficial to you because computer doesn't teach you that. It can draw diagram perhaps, but like you wouldn't know why this move is good or why that move is bad. Yeah, and this is why this post-game discussion I really recommend to everyone. After the game is finished, you just talk with your opponent what was their feeling, and this way you can compare whenever you had the same feeling, what was their idea, stuff like that. Or in this case, Mifa can share his experience with unexperienced Lily, right? I did really expect you to use that knight, so I already prepared for it before you moved it. Yeah, it's a standard way to attack third 5 rook, like on this file with the knight. It's a very standard way. Also guys, tomorrow we have Sunday Shogi. Sunday Shogi is something that we do at the same time as today's stream. And you guys send us the link to your games or the Kifu itself on the Discord. And then we analyze it on the stream live. So that's... Then you have a professional player basically analyzing it for you for free. So professional player. Yep. You may be good attacker, but defense and attack should be balanced, says Mifa, yes. So you'd also know what would be coming from me. Yeah, so you should expect the counter from your opponent. Yeah, I was aware of what you were doing the most of the game. It was Tetsuji toward the end game that I messed up, and I had spent too much time in positions where I didn't have time to make accurate moves. I have an example of that by the edge pawn outplayed study I made. I see. But yeah, I think what Lily is saying, calculating, but what Mifa is saying, the knowledge. So you should have knowledge about this position beforehand. Mifa knows the Joseki, he knows what to expect. He played many games with this position. Lily is saying that she read everything, but that's why she ran out of time, because she read, but you have to know stuff. You have to know it beforehand. Shogi for Beginners is a great book. I actually didn't read it. I feel bad. I should read it. I should buy it, maybe. Maybe we will do some review on stream of English books. I don't know. I should have read it. Chat, any questions? Any questions? So today we watched a game, Mifa versus Lily. Mifa, the king, won, proving that he is the king. But also Lily had a nice fight as a queen. She defended her honor. Now they're learning from each other. You woke up the horse too late. No, yellow, no. You have to watch the board now. How can we beat Mifa? Well, the last TTK Telmarch actually beat Mifa, so we can ask him. Okay, so this is not a tournament, but we have tourney to queen and tourney to king, and they both are the winners of those tournaments. Lily is the queen, Mifa is the king, and we decided it would be cool if the king and queen played against each other, so we came up with this exhibition match. Kadagami's book, Which Piece Do You Need to Mate, is also a great book. Yes, it is. It is a great book. Is it easily? But I don't think it's easy to buy it, is it? Shogi. Amazon DE. That's quite expensive for a small book. But I guess it's possible to find it. Yeah, also on Shogi Hub you have a list of shogi books, I guess. Like if you're from France, there's books in French that are not in English. They're really cool. This one is like big shogi one, and this is tsume shogi using hidechi pieces. If you guys are not used to kanji, there's tsume shogi with actual hidechi pieces. And there is also a German version. There's also many Russian books that are not available online, but I have PDFs for them. But yeah, it seems like it's quite expensive. We should actually write books. Like, we should start making material. There are so many strong people on our server. We should start making material for a new generations of shogi players, yeah? Yeah, the art of shogi is a huge content, yeah. I have it here even. Handicap games, everything is there. Castles, openings, twisting rooks, cut sleeves, whatever, all the weird openings are there. You have that in French? Better moves for better shogi. Yeah, I actually have PDF for that. You'd like to make a tsume book? Let's do it, Lily. Let's do it. Yeah, Nimu, of course you can. I would buy it. Shaimo would buy Lily. Yeah, I would also. I would help her do it too. Maybe we should do like Shogi Harbour publishing, you know. Like, we could continue with our international magazine as well. I was thinking we could gather you guys together, create some materials, but I think I always feel bad if it's like volunteered. I would prefer so that I could pay you a little bit. Was that French book good? Abigail, was it good? I cannot read French, to be honest, so I think it was good. If there are prizes, people might write excellent books. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. But isn't the best prize that people buy the book? It is very good. Okay, yeah. Here you go, Moash. It's a very good book. Print on demand, yes. That's how Nekomado books or Hidechi books, like Hidechi dictionary books were made. Hidechi dictionary. It's print on demand as well. Hidechi did so much work. And I'm here streaming random games of random people. Hey, I'm doing some job as well. It's just printed when, but not exactly how. But it's the publisher is Nekomado, yeah? But I'm pretty sure they use the Amazon service for that. Teaches you everything you need to know. Rules, proverbs, just a key for the most openings handicap games. Yeah. Alright guys, those kind of discussions, I warmly welcome you to continue on Discord. I think we're gonna wrap up the stream in a moment. Lily and Mifa will continue the analysis. You can join on 81 Dojo. You can enter the room to see, and let me check if we have anybody streaming Shogi so we can raid them. I don't think anybody's streaming Shogi, but I always like to check. Oh, wait, there is someone streaming Shogi. Someone French. Do you guys want to rate random French person streaming Shogi? Of course you do. All right, guys. I don't think he has this book, actually. I will ask him. Thank you for advice, Abigail. Yeah, remember to share the joy of Shogi. And guys, I will see you tomorrow on Sunday Shogi stream when we're gonna analyze your games. Thank you so much for joining. I really enjoyed talking with you. Thank you so much, all the lurkers that just watched me making fool out of myself and making chinchilla noises while drinking water. And I will see you again. Bye!